Yes, now it's recording.
So that's the first part of after my welcome, that you all know that we are recording the plenary part of our session, not the breakout rooms that we all also will have. So you are informed about that. Otherwise, we have also a chat where you can put in some ideas, but we prefer to have the ideas being announced openly, and in the plenary we have enough time about that. Before I will give a short word to my colleagues of the SEC, I will tell you something about the SEC, the Social Engagement Committee in the ITAA. The purpose of the SEC is to represent and consider social and political topics and issues in the TA community. Those themes can be sexual orientation, poverty, nationalism, racism, etc. We had some of these topics in the last 2 years in workshops. TA from its base is psychotherapeutically, counseling, educational and organizational method, and in the support of the change of single clients or client systems. But often problems are rooted in sociological or political structures. So in the past, we had several workshops around that, and our issue is to bring these social, societal, and political themes and issues also on the table, and to discuss it from a TA point of view. Our methodological approach was before in the last workshops to have some famous presenters, for example, in the ecological TA and so on. And today we have another approach. We choose the approach to have to write it open and to collect people who are interested to present their projects in terms of social engagement, and that is what we are doing today. For me personally, my name is Günther Mohr. Some of you will know me. I'm a TSDA from Frankfurt, Germany. I'm rooted in the organizational field. Also, to my pleasure, I can give the word to my colleagues of the Social Engagement Committee, and you already heard Michele. Now I give the word to you.
Thank you, Günther. Hello from Brazil. It's a pleasure to be with you, and looking forward to exchange ideas with you. Now, Chitra, please.
Hi everyone, Chitra Ravi. I am the past president of ITAA, and it's a pleasure for me to come back to this committee. It's got such a rich and diverse kind of work that we all do, and I'm so happy to be over here. I'm from India, Bangalore, and I'm a TSTA in psychotherapy. Looking forward to today. I'm handing over to Luca for Nadi.
Hello, good morning and good evening. My name is Luca Fornario. I work in the organizational field, and I am very curious about the work we will do together today. Thank you for joining. Pass the word to Piotr.
Hello, colleagues. I'm Piotr Jusek. I'm originally from Poland. I live in Guatemala. I'm really excited to be here with you, and I have this sense as I'm seeing some of you in different workshops, we're building this network of connections, and that's the strength of what we can offer to each other and to the world. I'm looking forward to participating in today's webinar. Hey, that is it from our Social Engagement Committee.
So thank you, folks. Unfortunately, we miss Sashi Chandran, our 6th member. She is working hard on her thesis. Maybe that could be in the future also a topic. I think it's connected to social issues, what she is writing about. So let me now before we go into our today's topic, give some pre-informations how we are used to work. And therefore I will want to show you a slide about the dialogue. I hope I can do that, Michele, with my
Share screen.
with my screen. Is it okay?
Yes, it is, Gunther.
Yeah. So it's about dialogue. It's a short idea that I worked out with Salma Siddiq from Scotland some time ago, that we are oriented in dialogue, a conversation with a purpose. It's a civilized operation, democratic and constructive act. We have 5 aspects that are in it and that we invite you to have in mind when you're talking today to each other or in the breakout rooms. So the first is respect. We as TA people have the I am okay, you are okay position, and this is the base of our relational model. Then I go to the right. There is the invitation to suspend beliefs and judgments. We are all used to believe and to judge others, but we are invite you not to do that in a first step, but to suspend judgments. Then everyone is invited to speak from the heart. Then that we wait a minute and let the impulses or the stimuli come to our heart, and then answer from this part. Then I go to the left side of the dialogue schedule. It's about listening. So we have good experiences when we invite people to first listen to what is said and not to jump into or interrupt others, but to be in a good listening process. And this is also, we could conclude it in the relational ethics, that we have an attitude to each other, that we, in a common process and a collaborative process, support each other in the workshop. Okay, that as a short stimuli. Then I would like to, I hope I have to look at my, yes, now we are already at the part, we are a bit in front of our time schedule, or did I miss something, Michele? No.
Just remember that we are recording this session, what happened in the main group, and we'll make available in the ITAA YouTube channel later. Then, if you don't like to appear, just close your video.
Okay, thank you for ending that. Then I would like to go to my next slide, on which I will show you what is offered today.
It's here.
I still see the old one, the former one. Do you see the 7?
Yes, the 7 groups.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
then I talk about the 7 groups from my paper. So if you see these 7 bubbles there, these are the pieces that you can visit today that are presented. And I start at the left side above, and the first piece, I hope I gave the right topic to it, is by Anne and Katja about LGBTQ and something about Greece. So Anne, could I ask you to add something about that?
Yes, thank you, Günther. Hi, everybody. It's about the work with lesbian teachers and not the whole LGBTQ group. And Katja will talk about a Just Human project for refugees. And they have one project in Greece, in Athens. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Then I give the word to Shivali. Shivali's topic is children on spectrum.
Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. I would be talking about the role of the community when it comes to support the family who have children with special needs or with disability. And Children on Spectrum is one of the projects that I'm working with currently. Thank you so much, Gunther.
So your topic is children on spectrum. I repeat it because afterwards we have the choice in which group we will want to go. Then I would like to mention Nancy. I wrote charity to support emotional health. Nancy, could you show up and say something to it?
Good afternoon from here. I am in London, and good evening, everybody. We are support migrants' well-being in our charity, and we have a model for different programs to support Spanish and Portuguese speakers in UK. Yes, that is what we're going to talk with programs, what we do, and how we use TA in preventions and also intervention for migrant well-being and mental health.
Well, thank you, Nancy. Your project is charity to support emotional health. Then I will come to Mo Felton. I wrote restorative practice for transforming conflict. Please, Mo, can you tell something about that?
Oh, well, thank you, Gunther. So in February 22, Russia invaded Ukraine, and therapists of all kinds were launched into dealing not only with their own trauma, but also required to attend the trauma of their patients and clients. As a transactional analyst, psychotherapist with restorative practice, I was challenged to provide support for this group when the wrongdoer would not come to the table. So today I'll show you a little of that journey and its relevance to current conflicts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mo. Restorative practice for transforming conflict. Then I come to Maria. I wrote skin deep nurturing well-being. Maria, can you say something to that?
Hello, everyone. I am Maria from Guatemala, and I am really happy to be here. I will speak about how TA is using in psychodermatology in Guatemala, the perspective of integrating TA and dermatology.
Well, thank you, Maria. Skin deep, nurturing well-being. Then I come to Victoria Basketball. I wrote embodiment of intersectionality through TA East. Victoria, could you say something about that?
Thank you, Gunther. Good morning, good evening to you all. Yes, I'm going to talk about the embodiment, as Gunther's just said, of intersectionality through the being of TA East, reflecting on where we place ourselves, how we invite in, how we embody process, theory, and practice through the being, the intersectional through the being of training. I'm going to tell the story of how TA East evolved in the urban London community and how it reflects the multi-diverse social, political, and cultural contexts. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Victoria. And the last project we have from Janice. Unfortunately, Janice is not here, but we have a film about a video about her project. And Chitra, could I ask you for a word to that?
Absolutely, Gunther. I have, in fact, when Janice and her team did the TA 101 project, it started in the year 2019 as part of the rally conference. Janice Dawson from Canada, she put together a team to actually do recordings of each of the sessions of the TA 101. so that it could be made available across the globe for those folks who want to watch the video and then take possibly the one-on-one exam, online exam, and complete the TA 101 at a very economical pricing. So I'll be happy to play that video. And therefore, those folks who are interested, please join me in that breakout room. They've really made a lot of efforts to put together this video of 9 minutes. And yeah, I look forward. Thank you, Gunther.
So Chitra is Janice for a moment. And so thank you. I would like to let the slide in for a moment. And I would like to ask Michele if it's okay to talk about the technical process, how we can go to the single groups and how this is managed.
Yes, thank you, Gunther. I will open the breakout rooms and you will see the names of the 7 projects, the 7 TA works that we have today. And then it will be possible for you to choose which room you'd like to join. It's optional and you choose your room. And the name of the room is the name of the project. Can we open the rooms, Gunther?
Yeah, let's talk about the time. The total time for the breakout rooms is 30 minutes. So as we instructed the presenters, they have, let's say, 7 to 10 minutes to introduce their topic. And then in the breakout rooms, there is time to use the dialogue and to share own experiences, to give own reflections on that, what you heard or saw in the presentation, in the short presentations. That so half an hour is the time.
Yeah, and I will take care of the time. Then the time finish, I will say hello with a message in the groups, and we'll come back to the main room.
We are. So shall we then go ahead with the impressions and sharing your remarks from the breakout room? So we're going to open the floor for everyone. What I love about after, when you start the workshop, people are there grasping their cup of tea, and after 20, 30 minutes of stroll in the breakout rooms, you can see the smiles and how people come alive. So please share what happened, and we're very curious to know how did you receive and what happened in your breakout rooms.
Then let me start. If no one jumps in, I do. I was in the group about Ulysses, about the Ulysses syndrome. I never heard that before, but it's a syndrome of people who are in a migration process, and we had a wonderful presentation about that. And I learned a lot. I learned about 7 griefs of migration, and I learned a lot how TA and in a combination with logotherapy could support people, and is realized in a London institute. And from a technical point of view, Michele, I would propose that if we could do that, to have the email addresses of the presenters in the chat, for example, that people can connect. I'm not sure about whether we have the possibility that people can connect to each other if they are interested in a topic.
Yes, it's possible to write the email address in the chat. The chat is available for everybody.
I think Mo already has shared her email ID.
Exactly.
Rest can. Yeah. You can see Anne's.
So how are you impacted? I'm noticed that when I see some of the faces that I know here or what was going on in my breakout room, I'm feeling joy seeing how people have courage and determination to act according to the values, whether it's holistic, whether it's something that really matters to them. I find that beautiful.
And also pleased to have the opportunity to share these concepts about Ulysses syndrome, but also the resource we have in TA to support this condition. And with my colleagues was so very deep reflections and very good outcome to still work in this aspect. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and also pleased to still in this journey close with all of you. Thank you, Piotr, to invite me. I'm really happy to have another opportunity to still build bridge and connections in order to looking for our well-being. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I go next. Thank you. I'm from Bangalore, India, and I'm very happy to be part of this group. Thank you so much, Chitra, for showing me the way of how TA can be so powerful. I was very fortunate to do my TA 101 with Chitra. It was more for my own personal growth, and I realized that some part of it I probably can use in my work that I do. Very happy, though it was a very small group, but thank you so much. Those who were there, part of the group. I think I have Joja here. Hi, thank you. And Luca, thank you for all the love and support. This work that I'm doing is purely compassion driven. It is purely working with people who need the support, being the voice for the voices from the ground. It helps me to do what I do and justify my presence in this world every day with the work that I'm doing. I was looking forward to get some lessons on how I can use the techniques and tools that TA can help me with the project that I'm doing currently. So I'm looking forward to some tips, some techniques, some mantras from all the gurus here. And thank you for making me part of this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you. It makes me think about the power of stroking. How much can we offer by listening and being present for someone?
And can I just publicly thank Dr. Shivali for your presentation? It was a great example on how some of issues are related to the social, political, social environment, and the way you addressed it by creating a parent supporting group. It was wonderful to see that in action and really looking at it systemic, from a systemic point of view. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'd like to share something from the LGBTQ group where I participated. Thank you. And yes, and it was about, on one hand, about a project with lesbian and or queer refugees in Athens in Greece, about how they were supported in the special situation, and also about German teachers who were supported in her coming out. And most impressive for me was the
picture of the iceberg. The iceberg, who on the visible side has much more now tolerance and acceptance of queer people than, for example, 50 years ago, that they have changed a lot. But under the water, the 90% of the iceberg is still very much of homophobia and threatening of queer people, and yes, making a lot of difficulties to them and so on. Thank you for this group. This was really interesting. Also the discussion about different countries and how it appears in different countries. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have 3 groups left, I think. Who was in the restorative practice group? And can give an impression?
Yep. Yes, I found it really interesting because I have worked in the Ukraine for 4 years doing therapy, supervision and training, and it was fascinating doing the work. And what struck me about what Mo was talking about was offering groups to people in the Ukraine to process what was happening to them and to talk about the trauma, not being able to change anything or not being able to fix anything, but giving them the opportunity to talk about it. And I thought that was really powerful, because when I was working in the Ukraine, I came across lots of stories of trauma that they'd been through, and they've not had the opportunity to talk about it. And of course, now the Russians doing what the Russians are doing, and, you know, I'm not getting political or anything, but it's really, I think it's really essential work. And that's made me start to think about what's going on, like in the Gaza Strip and over that area at the moment, and, you know, what could be helpful to do something over there. So I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but it's just really interesting to think about it.
Thank you.
It's can I speak? I'll speak, Gunther. I think one of the things that occurs to me the older I get, and I'm getting older now, is there isn't a situation, a social situation, a social justice situation where transactional analysis isn't extremely helpful in understanding and possibly the potential for how much transactional analysts and people interested in TA could be contributing to any aspect of social justice. Now, it just seems more and more clear, and TA is a very integrating model. So it's not difficult at all to integrate several different modalities into TA and see where the connections are. And once we are aware of those connections and what the potential and the possibilities are, how can we use that in our own small way as an individual? It's, you know, we may not be able to do great things for the world, but we may be able to do great things in the small world that we're in our own families and our own communities. And so go with the TA is what I would say.
So thank you. Victoria?
Yeah, I was just going to respond there, because at TA East, we actively invite in representation from all of the East London community. So we have in our training groups, we have people who have relatives who are in Gaza. We have people who are Jewish. We have people who are Ukrainian, who are married to people who are Russian. We have people who are Ukrainian who have Russian parents. We have people who are Russian in the room. So there's something about how do we keep connection? How do we recognize that the I'm okay, you're okay can be used in a very superficial way? So how are we courageous and have the dialogue and sit amongst each other in the conflict within systemic oppression, because it's in every context and every group, And this sense that, you know, I witnessed a dialogue where I witnessed somebody Jewish say sorry to somebody who was Palestinian. It was the most moving dialogue to witness. There's a lot of people who are Jewish that do not support the conflict of Israel right now. There's a lot of people who are Russian who do not support the leadership, just like I do not support the political leadership of my country. It's not in my name. So I think there's something about how do we have those very intricate, painful dialogues between each other, where we are open-hearted enough to learn the story of the other. So it's not just about the projection of a monoculture that they might hold. And, you know, because I think that intersectionality is about those intricacies that, you know, that you know, in terms of those, all those different selves we hold and where we position ourselves, I think is really important in these dialogues. No, that's just what I wanted to say to that bit. But, you know, what I do want to say about our breakout room is it was moving to sit amongst others, because I think sometimes this journey can be a lonely one and a painful journey. And I think, you know, how do we support each other in community with a way of where we're undefended and that we are willing to look at our own projections, because of course we will all project, we will all feel the conflict between us, but how do we have those dialogues? That's what I think in the TA world we need to get better at. How do we have the painful dialogues and really own that we don't sit in the position of I'm okay, you're okay within the social constructs a lot of the time. How do we learn to meet each other? So that's, but it'd be interesting to see what the other people in the group thought. Thank you.
I think we could expand that dialogue longer than the time we've got now about what does it mean to be okay.
Let us give the word to Maria for a moment, or one of Maria's group.
I would say before this and years back, I felt alone in the journey. I was the only person in my country in TA, but then I found Piotr. I can see Alba from Mexico here too also, and it's been really important sharing, of course, sharing the work and being and feeling not alone in the journey, because I am a psychiatrist and being a physician is not so easy to come into the psychological or coaching or the other field, but I feel embraced here. I feel part of this, and it's been a pleasure to share the work that I've been doing. I think like I was doing it, I lose the perspective that the work was really important for the people that I work with, for the patients, for the doctors and the institution. So it's been a pleasure being with you. Thank you.
Okay. Are we through? Or Katja, would you like to say something? I missed you in the beginning in the introduction.
No, this doesn't matter. I don't remember really. Hi. No, we were in the group together with Anne with the LGBTIQ topic. We were a small group, but we had some sort of nice discussion and interesting discussion about visibility and about outing, especially in the surrounding of school and primary school. Yeah, how to get visible, to be visible, and what to do to have an okay position there. It was quite interesting, and we would have we were just starting a discussion then about the refugee topic also, and yes, it was really, even if we were such a small group today, it was very interesting for me also. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other group? Is there any other group or member of any
Yeah,
other group?
we
Yep.
did have the Project TA 101 group, and there were 4 of them who were really excited about this particular project and the amount of work that has gone in. I think the key thing was that the element of social change that was included in each of the TA 101 topics. And so most of the group members looked at how, for instance, Kiko talked about how in Japan, the translators can be, taken through this particular project because it's quite costly for them to attend these courses. And that's the spirit with which this whole project TA 101 was put together, so that people can actually spread the word of TA and have many, many folks do this absolutely free. So I just want to put this out with a larger group. There's a Facebook page, as well as there's a blue button called the Project TA 101 on the ITAA website, which can be clicked and the word can be spread, because there's a lot of input that has gone in, and more than that, the commitment and zest from this team. I also want to just acknowledge the team. In a short span of time, they've put together this video and offered it to us. And I think it's a good thing for them to have been a part of this, where folks have come together and talked about your own projects. So I just want to thank Janice and Alexis and Inga and the entire team for doing this. Thank you, Linda.
Can I add something to that, Chitra?
Yes, yes, of course.
Because our group, in the group that I was talking about in the restorative process, they 5 of them completed that 101 in the project 101, and it was the only way they could have done it really at that time. But it became a very important part of our group, and helping them to move forward. So I'm very appreciative of the work that's been done for that, and Janice Stowson particularly.
Absolutely.
So I would like to thank you, and sounds like every group, it was a rather stimulating dialogue you had within your own group. We would like to use this last 10 minutes, few minutes, really to explore with you, how is it that you would like to go on with this dialogue? How could we as Social Engagement Committee can support having these dialogues? What is it that you would wish for in the next meetings? Many topics came out. Today was a bit of an experiment. We used a different format, allowing members to show up and to share their daily practices on social engagement. How would you wish? How can we continue this journey together? We'd like to collect some ideas.
Yeah.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. For me, I have, I'm living with cancer, and I got cancer about 5 years ago, and now I'm recovered and I'm well. But I've spent obviously the last 5 years recovering, and I've still been reading and trying to keep up to date with things. So what would be helpful to me is for people to talk about how things might have changed, or how, if we look at things differently, or if there's anything new that's come up.
For me, I don't know. Yeah, I can. I think it is this a space where I would like to have some next step. It's like to build the bridge. Is some people is interesting for some topics or some aspect. How we can connect him. How we can to do the synergy. Is throw you to the board. We can let to them, we are open to still still in our time work or sharing information, shared research. This is my question, because I think in our conversation in this place, we needed to extend, because not always one time is enough. We needed to really go for how we can extend this. This is my sensation.
Thank you, Nancy.
I would I'm fairly new to TA. I'm in my third year, and what I would like to see more a continuation of us making links between different aspects. So, you know, the social engagement approach is wonderful. You know, we live in a socio-economic political system. We also live, you know, and so there are many aspects I haven't really. I come from a very political background, and so for me, it's quite interesting to do my training and have that be like the elephant in the room. So, and the other thing is, I have a unseen disability. So, and I also have many children of friends who are neurodivergent, and I would like to have more conversations around our place in the global family and how we interact with each other in our individual humanity.
Yeah, can I go next?
Please.
Yeah, so I will take it from where Victoria was talking about. It's so painful to be lonely. And it is about creating that community wherein everybody is accepted the way that they are, irrespective of who we are. And when Elaine says that this is about creating that space for neurodivergent children and their families, I am looking forward to some way wherein the tools and techniques of TA can be utilized to create that inclusive world where each child has its own space to grow and nurture. And if we are able to create a community like that, which supports whatever abilities or disabilities that we are born with, visible or invisible, if we are able to create that inclusiveness, if we are able to create that acceptance for who we are, I think that would be one takeaway from this session. I would love to take it forward. Thank you so much.
Any other wish on how we can continue as a social engagement group?
Victoria has a hand up.
Yeah, I guess I've been thinking about this as we've been sitting and thinking, of course, with committees, there is a limit, because I think the thing with committees is it can be an add-on. And I was thinking, how do you make the Social Engagement Committee not an add-on? How does it become a lived experience? And I was just sitting with that, really. And thinking about, I guess it's ultimately about all doing the work on ourselves, keeping doing the work and coming together to share the stories around our own journeys, which you're doing. And thank you so much to the Social Engagement Committee for today and for what you are doing and being. And then I wonder if it's something about resources as well, because I get very troubled when I see things that are not inclusive. And I know it's unconscious bias and it's always going to be happening, but how do we offer this anti-racist lens as well, an anti-oppressive lens? Because all of us are, of course, we have unconscious bias. And so there's something, how can we create a safe space to have those dialogues with each other? I think there's never enough time for the dialogue, is there? It's like today we come away fed and hungry. So I think it's about holding the space and holding the intention that you hold as a social engagement committee that is so valuable. And you know, maybe there isn't more. Maybe there's about the intention you hold and the awareness that you have and the invitation that you give. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. We have time for another comment, and then we're going to close this session. Seems this is it. Really, thank you again for your stimuli and your ideas. Looks like that there is a desire and need to have these conversations on different levels. And we can, as a social engagement committee, hold this space so that we can continue these dialogues. I'd pass the word to Gunther. Is there any way you would like to close this session? Gunther, we didn't talk about actually closing.
Yeah, I think it stands like an open question. I feel stimulated to continue our work. Thank you all for your engagement and for your contribution today. Sometimes it seems that there is a little time for everything, but I hope this 90 minutes from time to time, and we up to now we managed to have 3 to 4 sessions a year, and what stimulated me much today was the comment about the own story. Not to have the project, but maybe it's interesting to have own stories about own experiences. But we in the committee we have to discuss what we make out of this. So thank you very much to you all, my colleagues, and have a good rest day.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.